Welcome back to the 30-day yoga challenge. It's day 20. I feel like I need to give you a break. Over the last 3 sessions, we've been doing some pretty strenuous yoga activities. We've done yoga for building strength in our abdominal muscles, yoga in the chest, and yoga for combating symptoms of depression. They've all been really active yoga practices. So let's talk a little bit about anxiety, panic attacks, and learning how to do a little bit more of that stress reduction, slowing down into our bodies, and practicing a little slowness in our yoga class today. So for our day 20 of our yoga challenge, what we're going to be focusing on isn't avoiding symptoms of panic or avoiding symptoms of stress. Instead, what we're going to focus on is learning how to pay better attention to when our body comes under load and learn how to take a step back, take some breaths, be present to it, not turn away, and choose what we do next. And that is the whole key to how we address panic or even severe stress through yoga. This is applicable in any area of your life. What we're going to do today in the practice, I want you to be able to take it off of the yoga mat, out of wherever it is that you're doing this practice, into your everyday life. If you're on the bus and you start to feel some stress because you're thinking about a deadline that you have, or you're on the wrong bus, if you're at work and you have a presentation that you need to give, or you're in a class and there's an assignment that you don't feel really good about, rather than trying to escape these things, today's practice is about sitting with what shows up for us and learning how to pay more attention, leaning into it. Hope you enjoy our challenge, day 20 of our 30-day yoga challenge. Let's make our way onto the ground. And this time you are going to need a wall. So please find a space that is free of any obstructions. You're going to need a floor that's free and a wall. You don't need a vast space. What we're going to do is have our legs up the wall. Now, my favorite way to get into a legs up the wall is to have myself come and sit right against the wall, so with my hip against the wall. With my legs crossed, I then make my way onto my back and then working my legs up the wall. This way I don't find myself trying to scooch closer and closer to the wall. My butt is right up against the wall, and I can then move myself away from the wall to take off any tension off my back, or to stay up nice and close against the wall if that's feeling right. So, getting in nice and close to the wall with your left hip against the wall, you may wish to have your legs crossed, making your way onto your back, turning your legs up the wall. And from here, experiment with keeping the legs bent, your feet on the wall, or pressing through your heels. The legs come nice and long as the legs are supported by the wall. And if you notice any tension, or you feel your body sort of like an accordion being bunched up against the wall, that's probably not a good thing. Maybe just sort of inch yourself away from the wall. But I use that term carefully. Inch yourself. You don't really need to pull yourself far away from the wall. This posture is about having the back flat on the ground and the legs going up the wall, so we can enjoy an inversion here. Inversions are a really big foundational part of yoga practices and how we start to cool down and end our practice. You may wish to have the arms splayed out. Maybe experiment with having your hands crossed over the belly or cactusing the arms onto the ground. And noticing any tingling sensations in the feet as the blood makes its way down. Maybe wiggle your toes. If you notice any low back pain, you may wish to grab a blanket or towel and place it underneath the low back, folding it, and experimenting with different heights, seeing what's right for your body. And if you have mobility issues and the best that you're able to do right now is to move over towards the wall, get on your back, but you're not able to extend your legs, can that be okay? Maybe getting some distance from the wall and just having your knees bent with your feet flat against the wall and enjoying as much of an inversion as you can have in this time, in this space. There is no need for your yoga practice to look a specific way. This is about your body. Your yoga practice can be as variable as you are. Just taking a moment here, enjoying the sensations of being in this inversion. Breathing in, noticing distractions, we're going to get into a supine posture called Shavasana. Here in this Shavasana posture, maybe lift your head up, lengthen through the spine, and then place your head back down on the floor. Allow yourself to feel your body being supported by the earth. And notice any places that you may be carrying tension. A place that I oftentimes carry tension, even though it's not going to help me through a single damn yoga posture, is in my jaw. I notice myself clenching my teeth and tightness in my jaw. So I'm going to consciously, as I'm sharing this practice with you right now, I'm actually going to make an effort to just allow the muscles around my jaw to relax, knowing that it's not going to help me teach you some of these foundational yoga postures today. Allowing your arms to go heavy. If your knees are bent, just allowing your feet to press down into the ground. Allowing any tension to drop out of the shoulders and out of the back. Wherever you find yourself in this Shavasana posture, just find some stillness. Breathe. Be with your body. Notice what it feels like to be in this posture. Inhaling to come back up. Let's find some length through the spine. And let's go ahead and stretch the legs out forward. Maybe flop them back and forth, rotating through your ankles. You might wish to remove any of the blankets or pillows that you have supporting your body. With your feet flat in front of you, having your toes pointing towards you, let's see how much mobility we have here, reaching forward. Maybe wrapping your hands around knees, maybe around shins. Maybe you're able to fold forward so far that you're able to wrap your hands around the ankles or around the feet, drawing in. Whatever's accessible to you here, just having a little bit of, again, a forward fold. Breathing, noticing the sensations of being in this practice. Forward folds are a time to slow down and to draw our attention within. This is a great time to check in with you and take stock of how you may be feeling, any thoughts that may be on your mind, and to really connect with the sensations that you're experiencing in your body. When you're ready, putting some weight into your hands, coming back up, sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to come into a four-legged posture. And with your knees about hips width apart, I'm going to invite you to widen your knees just a little bit wider and press back through the sit bones, pressing your arms forward. This is what we call a child's pose. It may be difficult for you to rest your head on the ground, so you may need a pillow or any type of prop. Like, for example, I always find a blanket or a towel folded as a really nice prop to help me get some length in the spine. And that's what we're looking for here, is a nice long spine. You may wish to reach the hands forward, spreading through the fingers. Or you may wish, if you have a nice long spine here and you're feeling comfortable, you may wish to draw the arms back parallel to the body. The object here isn't for your hips to press all the way back and for your butt to make contact with your ankles. The object here is for you to find some relaxation in this posture, to feel some length through the spine, and to be in your body, to breathe and notice the sensations of being here in this pose. Breathing in, noticing if you can feel the breath in the low back. We spend a lot of time in meditation noticing the sensations of breath in the belly or in the chest, but notice where you feel the breath in the back. It may be especially easy in this posture where you're leaning forward with your head resting down. Come back to a flat, neutral spine. Again, shoulders stacked over top of wrists, hips over top of knees. We're going to be here for a while. If you're on a hard surface floor, you might want to try a yoga mat, or you might want to try a folded up towel or blanket underneath the knees to protect you. Even if you're on a yoga mat, it might still just be too hard on your knees. Remember, we're going for a sustainable model here, so why don't you go ahead and take the time to take care of you properly in this practice. I'm sure you're worth the investment. With the tops of the feet placed down onto the mat, you don't want your feet turned in too much or splayed out, so go ahead and line your feet up. Again, making sure that you're aligned with a nice flat spine, and just checking out your hands, checking out the knees, checking out the posture. Let's take a few breaths here to just be in this tabletop posture. Feeling the stability of having your knees and hands flat on the ground. Also, just being thankful for the feet, noticing that the feet even play a role in this posture, even though they're passive and just pressing down into the ground. Beginning just with the hips, we're going to turn the pelvis in, lowering through the belly, dropping the belly down, and then finally lifting the head up on an inhale into our cow pose. And keeping the head and the spine exactly where it is, begin by tilting the pelvis in, then following through the spine, lifting up through the spine, and last dropping the head, coming into your cat pose. Check in with your hands, spreading through the fingers to protect the wrists. On your next exhale, starting just with the pelvis, following through the spine, dropping down, lowering the belly, let the belly hang low. Finally, lifting through the head, the gaze comes forward into our cow pose. Take 2 more rounds of this on your own, moving with your breath. Coming out of this posture, let's come to standing. Do one last standing posture before we begin to wrap up this practice. Take one last breath here on purpose. Breathe all the way in. Really feel the breath move in the body. And still with the feet, the hips width apart, I'm going to invite you to hinge at your hips, folding forward. You may wish to bring the arms out wide, protecting the back. You may need to move away from the wall or slide your hand down the wall or move the chair. And without any need to maintain some length through the legs, you may wish to bring some bending into the knees, just allowing your upper body to drape over your thighs, really leaning forward into the standing forward fold. Letting the arms hang low. Noticing if there's any tension on the back, and if so, bring a deeper bend into the knees. Maybe lifting out of this forward fold a little bit. Possibly grabbing opposite elbows. And just wagging back and forth a little bit. And notice how your breathing has changed in this standing forward fold. Notice where you feel any pull on any muscles or any strain on your system here in this pose. Now, releasing the arms, if you've grabbed opposite elbows, maybe reaching the fingers down to the ground. And if you have long arms like I do, you might be able to reach the ground. And if not, It might not be your day today. Today I'm not feeling particularly limber, so I'm actually gonna place the palms of my hands onto my shins. Let's begin to lift up, nice and slow, coming all the way up, back into our standing mountain pose. Thank you for your time and commitment in doing this practice. I'm gonna bring my hands to heart center, bowing, bringing my thumbs between the eyebrows, the third eye, so to speak, and share this final word with you. Namaste. I'd like to finish by saying thank you so much for sharing your energy with me on this practice today, being a part of this yoga challenge. Don't forget to hit the like button. It's super reinforcing to me, makes me want to make more of these videos. Hit subscribe and the bell icon to keep updated on these videos so that you don't miss any of them. And definitely share this with people in your world, because you never know who's going to benefit from this 30-day yoga challenge. Thank you so much. Namaste.